Hi everyone, I did a review of every NBA team in the Western Conference, currently ranked from worst to best, to see whether they have lived up to expectations or not. We start at number 15 with the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors have the worst record in the entire league. The expectations are of course much higher, but their hopes vanished with the injury of their franchise player. With Stephen Curry being out for a few months, the Warriors realized it was useless to keep D'Angelo Russell, so they were able to trade him for a decent player at the small forward position in Andrew Wiggins. The absence of Stephen Clay allowed Golden State to spot a few interesting players such as Marcus Chris, Damian Lee, and Kyle Bauman. It also permitted to develop the rookie Eric Paschall, who turned out to be very good so far for a second round pick. Next year, they will probably be title contenders again, with their two superstars coming back. They will also most likely land the top pick in the 2020 NBA draft, which they can either use to select a promising young talent or make an interesting trade. At number 14, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves had a decent start to the season, while Karl Anthony Towns was even looked up as an early MVP candidate. However, it didn't last, so they were very active before the trade deadline to reassure and secure their franchise player. They did a great move trading for Cats friend D'Angelo Russell, yet they were also included in other deals. They let go a few players, but they were able to receive Malik Beasley in return, who played very well since arriving in Minnesota. The rookie Jarrett Culver struggled for the first half of the season, but he started improving and got better around the All-Star break. Overall, the fact that they have only 19 victories for 45 losses is disappointing, but it will be interesting to see if Towns and D'Lo can carry the Timberwolves near the playoffs next year. Number 13, Phoenix Suns. The Suns are not the most serious playoff contenders right now, but they have however improved significantly. First of all, Ricky Rubio's arrival immediately made the team better, as he compensates his poor shooting with his passing. Devin Booker had his first All-Star appearance, averaging 26 points on a very respectable efficiency. Kelly Oubre also had a good season, while Aaron Baines did a great job during DeAndre Ayton's 25-game suspension. I believe the Suns shouldn't make some major off-season moves, but still concentrate about making it to the postseason in 2021. At number 12, we have the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs were very disappointing this season. Many people predicted they would miss the playoffs, but nobody thought they would rank this low. They were one of the teams taking the less threes this season, and their defense was bad visually and on paper. DeMar DeRozan had a good individual season, but he wasn't able to carry the Spurs offensively. With San Antonio probably missing the playoffs, I'm wondering what kind of offseason we'll see from them. Number 11, Sacramento Kings. After their good performance in 2019, the Kings started the season with some expectations. However, they were pretty bad until the trade deadline when they finally started playing well, so now they are still in the playoff run. Thanks to De'Aaron Fox, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Mitchell Holmes all having a good season. At number 10, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans really struggled to win at first, but are now serious playoff contenders, especially with their remaining schedule being easy. Zion Williamson was one of the most eagerly anticipated rookies in years. He played just 19 games because of a knee injury that delayed his debut until late January. But in those 19 games, Zion put up some incredible stats for a rookie. At number 9, we have the Portland Trail Blazers. After their impressive performance last year, many people expected them to easily make it to the postseason, but when the NBA got suspended, they were right behind the 8th seed. Many reasons can explain this down year. First of all, it is clear their main issue was their defense, but the Blazers' roster changing might have affected some things too. They saw many veterans and role player leaves, but were fortunately able to get Hassan Whiteside, as well as signing Carmelo Anthony as a third scoring option in November, and then getting Trevor Ariza in a trade in January. On the positive side of things, Damian Lillard was having an amazing individual season, trying his best to keep Portland's playoff hope alive. He was notably named NBA Western Conference Player of the Week for the week ending on January 26. Portland's acquisition of Anthony has paid off. Melo has played pretty well so far, and maybe more importantly, He seems to be enjoying his role in Portland. Hassan Whiteside has been very good this season, leading the NBA in blocks per game with 3.1 rejection every night. However, he stat padded a little bit and wasn't able to help the Blazers win that much. With their roster being fully healthy, they can hope to make it to the playoffs in the bubble, despite having a tough schedule. Now we have the Memphis Grizzlies at number 8. Like many other people, I expected them to be at the bottom of the Western Conference. However, the Grizzlies were arguably the biggest surprise of the league, actually being playoff contenders. Despite the start of the season full theme with heavy losses, Memphis got things going around December. Ja Morant is the front-runner for the Rookie of the Year award, as he led the young Grizzlies team in their playoff hunt while creating impressive highlights. Yet, many other Grizzlies players were having a good season. I personally believe Memphis front office made a decent job when trading Andre Iguodala, sending him, Jay Crowder, and Solomon Hill to the Heat, while being able to receive Justice Winslow. After sending them away, the Grizzlies needed a small forward, especially with Winslow being injured. Thereby, coach Taylor Jenkins gave more minutes to Josh Jackson, who had a few good games and proved he could be a decent all-around player. Their objective in the bubble will of course to keep the 8th seed, but it won't be easy. Number 7, Dallas Mavericks. I personally thought they would finish 11th in the West, or at best grab the 10th seed, so it is fair to say they are above expectations. They had a fun team this year, and many players on their roster were playing well so far. I of course have to mention Luka Doncic, who is playing at an MVP level at just 20 years old, while leading the Mavericks to the playoffs. Kristaps Porzingis has integrated himself well to the team, and he was present enough in games when Luka was missing. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been great as the team's third scoring option, while Seth Curry and Dorian Finney-Smith were good additions as role players. We even saw Boban Marjanovic having a good game with 33 points and 17 rebounds. The only main negative point so far for the Mavericks was Dwight Powell's injury. It showed how valuable he was for them as they struggled without him. Therefore, Dallas traded for Willie Cauley-Stein to reinforce their interior sector. Number 6. Houston Rockets. They are currently only 4 wins behind the Clippers, but it is disappointing to see them in the 6th seed as they were expected to finish in the top 3. Russell Westbrook integrated himself pretty well to the team, while James Harden was having another impressive scoring season. Since late February, Harden's performances regressed. As for Russ, he exploded and started averaging 35 points per game. The most notable moment of the Rockets season was when they went all in on small ball, making Robert Covington a very important piece of their roster. Houston's small ball lineup worked well at the beginning, in particular with their win over the Lakers. However, the Rockets struggled before the suspension of the season, having a few bad losses. I do believe the Rockets have the potential to win the championship, but with their current low ranking, it won't be that easy to get out of the first round. At number 5, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Just like the Grizzlies, the Thunder are one of the biggest surprises this year. A few optimist analysts thought they could at best grab the 8th seed, but nearly nobody predicted it would be this good. A part of their success is due to being very clutch, and many players in OKC were playing well. Chris Paul has been clutch, efficient, and was able to carry the team on his shoulders. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is in the MIP conversation, and he is turning into possibly a future star. Dennis Schroeder is a serious candidate for the Sixth Man of the Year award, while Danilo Gallinari was having a very solid season. It will be very tough, but we could even potentially see the Thunder advance to the second round of the playoffs. Number 4, Utah Jazz. In terms of rankings, the Jazz have lived up to expectations. However, there were a few downsides about their seasons. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were both tested positive for the COVID-19. Mike Conley was a big disappointment, and Bojan Bogdanovic is out for the remaining of the season due to injuries. Fortunately, Utah had a few pleasant surprises. They had a 10-game win streak, which allowed them to rank second in the West for a moment. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were both named All-Star for the first time. Bojan Bogdanovic was averaging 20 points per game, and Jordan Clarkson played great when he arrived in Utah. At number 3, we have the Denver Nuggets. Despite finishing near the top of the Western Conference in 2019, many analysts thought they wouldn't make it in the top 3 this year. But the Nuggets proved them wrong. They also have two secret weapons in Michael Porter Jr. and Bol Bol, so I wonder how well they'll play in the postseason. At number 2, we have the LA Clippers. While they currently rank where I predicted they would finish, the Clippers never had a major game-winning streak, but they were playing very well right before the season got suspended, and they were able to beat the Lakers not once but twice this season. The Clippers also acquired Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris to be sure they can compete for the title, since that's of course their objective in the bubble. Number 1, Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are another team that lived up to expectations by securing the first seed in the West. They had one of the best offensive rating in the league, but their defense was surprisingly good too. The only main issue the Lakers faced this season was not having a primary ball handler when LeBron was on the bench. But they were able to sign Markieff Morris, Dion Waiters, and now J.R. Smith to reinforce their roster. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe.